All right, I'm out here working on my car, and I just want to show you guys. I know it's a little dark, but I bought some lights. There's one. 2 lights. These things are super bright. So I also got this, so I can have power. And I didn't want a battery-powered ones because I'm probably gonna be doing this a lot, and I don't want to have to worry about batteries dying. The only thing I did was take off the exhaust. I definitely could have done it without my favorite Milwaukee tool. This little compact gun takes, I mean, it's not super powerful, but it's just so much nicer. This one's really nice because it can get in crowded spaces. Like if you only got like a tiny bit of room to, like, let's say get under like something like this, that this is too big for, it's nice, but this thing has a little more power. So I got the heat shield to take off, and then the only thing holding it on still is zip ties in the back. I'll go show you the back. I don't know if I'll be able to get it out. So since I jacked up just the front and my car is so low in the rear, my exhaust is, there's a little bit of wiggle room. I just don't know how, with the bumper not having a hole in it now, I don't know how I'm gonna get to cutting the zip ties off of this, but I'll figure it out. It won't be too bad, too difficult. I couldn't find the pliers I used to cut things. I forgot what they're called, but I found this. So this is a wire stripper. So up here you stick wires and you go like this and it separates them so you can, you know, splice in metal and stuff, but it has this cutter down here. I can probably stick the zip tie in there and cut it, but these are some strong zip ties. I remember trying to cut them before and they wouldn't come undone. That cut pretty easy. Well, even though it's late at night, I'm just gonna rip it out. I just gotta send it and make all that noise. All right, so my plan is to remove these 4 bolts right here, hold up the transmission, remove the 2 for the drive shaft, and then when I'm taking out the transmission, I'm hoping that I can somehow finesse the shafts separate without, because I really don't want to take these Weeble bolts off up here, because you know how much of a pain they are already. And I think there's 2 bolts right here, and then I'm gonna remove the skid plate to make it easier, but I don't really need to, and then bell housing bolts. Now it's time to remove the skid plate, so I'm gonna use the impact for this because they're on there pretty tight. That's, oh fuck, it's just dripping everywhere. Let's take a look. This is like metal. This is white, silver, something. Maybe it's coming from the dipstick. I'm not really too sure, but it does look like there's oil right here. And it's all coming down. I don't see any cracks or damage, it looks like. I don't know why there's so much like material all over the place. Probably should have put gloves on, but well, I'm already here. Oh, you can see, I think it is coming from this. Look at all this, that's all that silver. It's all over this. Only thing I could think I could do is just drain all the oil out and then remove this and see what it looks like. I'm probably just gonna take the one off the other car because the other one was reading correctly. This one says Euro parts on it and this one doesn't read correctly. Well, I came and I sprayed the oil pan with brake clean and I don't see any damage really. I mean, I see like a flat spot here and also here where it looks like maybe not contact with the ground, but the skid plate ramming against it. But it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like there's any cracks or anything. Just gonna remove the transmission mounts now. Oh my god. Once it went, it went. All that for that short little bolt. Oh my god. I can't even see where the camera's pointed. I didn't even get it. I'm gonna need 2 hands. the daily struggle of what it's like working on a car when you don't have a lift. Was that always like this? So this is the transmission mount. You can see there's supposed to be 2 pieces going that way. This one's missing one for some reason. And this one has no piece for the actual mount to bolt up to the transmission. You see there's supposed to be a piece of metal in there. It's just completely gone. Wonder where that went. This is pretty firm on there. So my transmission was basically free floating this whole time. Like, technically it wasn't being held up by anything because this mount was just going through on this side, and this side it was just pushing against this, sometimes probably slipping. I wonder if that has anything to do with going aftermarket with the transmission mount bushings. I cracked these 2 loose for the drive shaft bearing because I didn't want to sit here and struggle on camera again. Well, hopefully this doesn't fall on me. Well, now the drive shaft is also free hanging, as well as the transmission and maybe even the engine. Now that I've let the engine sit after cleaning with brake clean, I can see it's coming from higher up. And there's a huge puddle of oil right here and here. Well, it's definitely coming from up here by the dipstick. That's for sure. Where I just sprayed it with brake cleaner, and 2 minutes later, there's already oil all over the engine again. Well, I didn't film it, but I took all the bell housing bolts off and the transmission is just free floating. I didn't take the drive shaft off, so I'm hoping that this works, because if not, I gotta put it right back in, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh, got it. Okay, it's just resting on my body. Probably should have set up with a wide angle, but I was already under the car and it didn't want to get out. Oh, whoops. Forgot to disconnect this line. I was holding the transmission up still. I wonder if that caused me any problems. But yeah, it's just sitting here, and I didn't mark the drive shaft because the 2 halves are supposed to be balanced together, so I kind of just sent it. But look, transmission's out. Make sure it's in neutral real quick. So that's neutral. So here's the input shaft. Obviously I can spin it. Well, should be able to spin it without hearing stuff like that, but right now spinning it, you know, you can spin the drive shaft. It should be completely separate, right? These spin differently, so you can see. So if I push it forward, that'll be like pulling it back into 4th. So now it's in 4th gear. You can see how much the drive shaft's spinning with it. The drive shaft. I'm holding the input shaft still, and the drive shaft is spinning. So that's not a good sign. It's 5th if I can get it in. Oh, I think that's reverse actually. No, I think this is 1st. No, that's 5th. That's 1 to 1. So 5th didn't have any issues. This should be 2nd, I think. It sounds very healthy. Yeah, it does not want to really move very well first. So the input shaft isn't even spinning there. So I'm using an 18mm wrench to like pull it into gear. So you can see if it's like, right now it's in 3rd or 4th, I think. I can pop it out really easily. Leverage. Yeah, that's reverse. So I'm gonna spin it clockwise. Yeah, that's reverse. The engine's on, this is always spinning. always. The clutch is attached to here. So when you push the pedal down, this isn't spinning. When you let go of the pedal, this connects to the engine. Now it's neutral. So you would hear that noise normally when you depress the clutch. Alright, so as you guys can see, the drive shaft and glue bore removed. So pretty much just looking for a new transmission. So while we're waiting for that, I've got a few other plans for the car. It's getting cold outside, so I'm not really going to be working on it as much, but I'm just going to have to send it.